Hi, lovelies. Lisa here. No more coughing. No more coughing. I'm really like freaking sick. I came back from Reader's Studio and like pretty much instantly had swollen glands, and then that developed into congestion, and my lungs were aching, and a fever, which I almost never get. I had a fever for like 4 days. It just broke last night. And, the stress, I think the stress of traveling, the excitement of Reader's Studio, everything they say about Reader's Studio, this is my first time, and everything they say about it is true. Like, don't forget to hydrate, get enough sleep. Well, I never hydrated. I almost didn't sleep at all. So, the mindfulness teacher sometimes isn't so mindful of her bodily needs. But excuse me while I wipe my nose. Yeah, I kind of look like death warmed over. And this is me like having cleaned up for the video, like making sure that my dirty hair doesn't look so dirty. And yeah, but the thing is, I wanted to get like a quick video up, and I'm feeling better. I'm gonna go back to work tomorrow, I think. I don't have a fever. I'm I have some more energy left. I'm gonna get a good night's sleep, another good night's sleep. I've been sleeping, for days. But I wanted to get a video out sooner rather than later, just because I've been so grateful for everything that I received at Reader's Studio. And I just wanted to say that out in, the YouTube sphere before too long passed by. I will be doing a full kind of wrap-up video where I talk about some of the things I came back from Reader's Studio with. I mean, both the material goodies, but also some of the learnings and some of the specific things I'm really grateful for. But just the sense of community. I spent time with amazing people. Got to meet people I'd never met in person. Got to know people that I've maybe met before a little bit at Newt's, for instance, at Northwest Tarot Symposium, or elsewhere, or people that I know only from online, and got to spend real time with folks. Spent a lot of time, and I'll just use people's YouTube handles because I don't know how people feel about their names, but with Eliza West, who is just it's just such a wonderful time with her, and with Veronica Jude and Tom Benjamin, Michael Bridge Dixon, and got to really have a decent time chatting with people that I just admire so deeply. Got to chat a bunch with Ethany. Got a copy of her book. I've just started reading it. It's wonderful. Your Tarot Court. Got to chat a little bit with other folks, just wonderful people. Really enjoyed spending time with Carolyn Cushing, who's just, amazing and brilliant. And I felt like I was, I felt like I was realizing in person the community that is really there all around us. And we experience it in social media. I'm somewhat ambivalent about social media as this weird introverted extrovert, or extroverted introvert. I'm not sure. I get overwhelmed by social media. So I throw myself out there in these videos, but I'm also kind of I'm not very good on Facebook. I don't keep up well with my Instagram account. I don't tweet. Anyone who's ever tried to be in touch with me by email knows I'm terrible at staying in touch that way. And so, I deeply appreciate what social media can do, but it's that, face-to-face opportunity to be with people in the same room, breathing the same air, sharing germs. No, I'm sure I caught this on the plane, or maybe even was nursing it before I went to Reader's Studio. Anyway, I'm just really, really, really grateful for you all. And, those of you who've never watched my videos and will never see me thanking you, you're still part of this this broader community of seekers and readers, witches and wizards and magical beings. So I'm just bodhisattvas. I'm so grateful to you all. So I wanted to just say that, get that out there. And then I did have a little insight, which I'm not sure if it's a good insight. My brain is a little bit like oatmeal right now, sort of mushy and chewy. So I'm hydrating. Learned my lesson. Hydration is good. I did have a little insight this week. Not an insight, but a demonstration of something that I've known to be true for a while, and it's something I've been thinking about how to phrase in a video for my Learn to Speak Tarot series. And the insight is something like this. Tarot speaks to the moment, to this moment now, with 78 words. There's 78 items in tarot. I don't know how many words there are in English, like 100,000? I don't know. A whole bunch. Tarot, we have 78 words. Now, the words are cards, so the cards, have elements to them, even if it's a, very streamlined, pippish deck. There's lots of things in the card, but each card is a word, is a piece of an utterance. And so how is it that tarot can speak to the infinite variety of human existence with such a small lexicon? And that's because, we work with the elements of each word, with number, with arrangement, with symbol. We work with the elements, and we work with the elements of each. And by elements, I don't mean like water, earth, and fire. I mean the items that make up a card. We work with those, and we work with those in context. And so we read the cards against our life, and we read our life against the cards, and that context brings meaning. But still, it's a very, very limited vocabulary. And that's important because there are some cards that have pretty heavy dictionary definitions. Card like the Tower, which we expect to mean something cataclysmic, something catastrophic. We talk about tower moments in our lives. We talk about the way that the roof has blown off, the top has blown off, our heads have blown off, the structures have collapsed. Now, a tower moment is a moment of liberation in many ways. For me, the key word I always associate with the tower is ignition. And I think about the way in which in a lot of early modern decks, the card was titled things like lightning or the thunderbolt, because the identification was not on the edifice tumbling, but on the light burst that both illuminated and incinerates at the same time, that ignition, that spark that transforms. This is from Patrick Valenza's Trionfi della Luna, the paradoxical version. And it's really evoking very, very traditional imagery of this card. So, the Tower, it's not so much, my point here isn't about the negativity of the Tower, but just that we think of it as a very, very dramatic card. But there are only 78 words with which the tarot, with which the tarot can address the whole of our lives. So it's important to keep that in mind. And this week, for instance, I came home from Reader's Studio. I was very sick. And actually, part of the stress that got me, I think, flipped me over the edge into full-blown virus land, was as I was traveling back from New York, I learned about a tragedy in my spiritual community, so I was pretty heartsick about that, and I got back home, and it was it was midnight, and the next day I went to work, and I was feeling just this heart sickness, and really wanted to be present for my spiritual community, and to go to my Zen temple, and to practice with people that evening. But I was also super sick, so I had this dilemma. I left work a little bit early. I dropped by my Zen temple, and then I went home with the idea of taking some rest and then going back. And I felt exhausted, but it felt like I really needed to be there. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be present. And so, although, mindful tarot, I don't think about this as a divinatory device. I often talk about mindful tarot and contrast it with an approach to tarot that's seeking answers, seeking answers to solutions, answers to problems, seeking solutions to problems. I think about mindful tarot as, we go to the tarot not for answers, but to help us pose the questions that open up our life and open us up for more abundance in this moment, open us up to the fullness of this present moment where nothing is lacking and nothing is hidden. So, nonetheless, sometimes the tarot is, for me, the best way to get some insight. And it is the place that I pose a question. So I pulled out my cards and I just asked, should I go to the temple tonight? And the card I got was this, the Tower reversed. Whoops, sorry, little camera moment there. The Tower reversed. And I was like, Now, the way I work with reversals, which is a trick I sort of adapted from Pamela Eakins, is if I get a reversed card, I pull clarifying cards until I hit a card that's not reversed, which I then take as a card that is clarifying the reversal, that this reversal is saying to me, there's something here you need to investigate, there's something, maybe an energy that's blocked, or something you don't understand, something you need to see, you need to understand. Let's keep talking. Let's get the conversation going. So I pulled another card and ended up with the Hermit. So now two very powerful cards. And I could read the Tower and say, oh, this is about cataclysm and catastrophe. This is about the Tower moment in my spiritual community of this tragedy that's just happened. But, I went to my cards with a very specific question about my present moment, trying to help me gain insight into, how to align with my current needs, my current state, my current level of energy and of presence and of need. And I got the Tower reversed. So in that context, it's like, no, this is not about catastrophe. This is just telling me it's a really dumb idea to go to the temple. Don't go to the temple. Bring your energy back inside. Stay home. And I pulled a further card, I don't remember why, or maybe I just sort of wanted, like, okay, and are you saying, I think what I did is I said, are you saying I should stay home? I had a little conversation with my cards. And I got the Ten of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, I guess just home and hearth. So this was a moment where the tarot reminded me that in a world where there are only 78 cards, only 78 words, sometimes the Tower just pops up to say, no, it's a fucking bad idea. Stay the fuck home. Get some rest. Sometimes your cards need to hit you upside your head a little bit and just remind you of what's right in front of you. So with that, I'm going to continue to hydrate. I'm going to crawl back into my now very, I've gotten a groove in my bed at this point because I've been in bed for 4 days. I'm going to sleep the sleep of the, I was going to say the sleep of the dead, but that doesn't bode so well for someone who's sick. So I'm going to sleep the sleep of the recovering from viral infection. And as soon as I really am fully back, I will do some of those videos I've been wanting to do, sharing my goodies, my learnings from the Reader Studio. And then also I have a whole bunch of things I want to talk about. April, I want to talk about the Five of Cups, which is my card for April. I have a lot to say about the Five of Cups. And then start talking maybe about my card for May, which is the Three of Cups. Interesting juxtaposition. And some new decks that have come in, and my thoughts about playing cards, and more Learn to Speak Tarot. So I have a lot that I want to share, but of limited energy at this moment in time. At any rate, I hope you all are doing well. And as always, I thank you so much for watching, and I thank you for your practice. Take care.